Welcome to the Enneagram Personality Presentation, a BTS case study on how pre-genetics influence teamwork. Please pause the video and read our disclaimer carefully before proceeding.
Let's introduce the Enneagram briefly. The Enneagram is a system of typology that classifies the human psyche into 9 interconnected personality types, also known as enneatypes. Thus, there are 9 different ways of seeing, interpreting, and reacting to the world. The 9 enneatypes are not static categories, but they reflect how we change over time. This is what explains the complex and unique traits between people, even among individuals with the same enneatype. Let's find out more about this. Each person is born with a specific temperament as determined by pre-genetics, which becomes their dominant, basic enneatype, or personality. This enneatype determines how an individual adapts to their early childhood environment and how they find their fit into the world. As our personalities develop, we take on some roles that describe our set of traits. We will discuss this into more detail when we describe each BTS member's enneatype. Our basic enneatype is heavily influenced by one or both of our adjacent enneatypes, which are called the wings. While our basic enneatype dominates our overall personality, the wings complement it and add important, sometimes contradictory, elements to our total self. The wings are like the second side of us. As a quick exercise, let's pretend your dominant personality is enneatype 2. Your wings will then be enneatypes 1 and 3. One of these wings could be more dominant than the other. The lines that connect the enneatypes on the graphic indicate how each enneatype will react in conditions of either growth or stress. Different situations will evoke different kinds of responses from the basic enneatype. The sequence for the direction of growth is marked by the black arrows on the graph. In our example, a growing enneatype 2 will take the characteristics of a healthy enneatype 4. The sequence for the direction of stress is marked by the black arrows on the graph. In our example, a stressed enneatype 2 will take the characteristics of an unhealthy enneatype 8. The 9 enneatypes are also clustered into 3 centers or triads. Enneatypes 8, 9 and 1 are part of the instinct or gut triad. Enneatypes 2, 3 and 4 are part of the feeling or heart triad. Enneatypes 5, 6 and 7 are part of the thinking or brain triad. Each triad consists of 3 enneatypes that have in common unique strengths and liabilities centered around feelings, thoughts, or instinctual drives. In our example, enneatype 2 is found in the feeling or heart triad. We will discuss the triads into more detail when we describe each BTS member's enneatype. To sum it up, the Enneagram types capture the dynamism of our personalities and showcase how they contribute to an individual's complexity and uniqueness. An enneatype 2 is so much more than its basic, dominant characteristics, as it is constantly influenced by its wings, circumstances of growth or stress, as well as the triad it belongs to.
So, now that we've been introduced to the Enneagram system, let's find out the enneatype of each BTS member. We will then compare it with their known MBTI types, to showcase the correlation between the Enneagram and MBTI topologies, and how the members' personalities superimpose and complement each other in these two systems.
These are the 7 BTS members: Jin, Suga, J-Hope, RM, Jimin, V and JK. We will follow the Korean age system and explore the enneatype of each BTS member in order from the oldest, Jin, to the youngest, JK. This is an important aspect of the Korean culture, as older individuals are treated with respect by younger ones. Even though the 7 members consider themselves brothers by now, there is a 5-year gap between the oldest and the youngest, affecting the dynamic of the team. There is one exception from the age-based system, and that is for BTS team leader, RM. Despite being in the middle of the team's age range, he is given just as much respect as Jin, the eldest, due to his leadership status. Therefore, we will begin our Enneagram exploration with him. We are completing the BTS team roster with ARMY, BTS's dedicated fanbase, as they consistently fill an extremely important role in BTS's success.
Let's introduce BTS team leader, RM.
RM has a Type 5 personality on the Enneagram, the investigator or the observer. This Enneatype's key motivation is the need to possess knowledge, to have everything figured out as a defense from outside threats. Fives are driven by the need to understand why things are the way they are and how the world around them works, whether it is at the physical or subtle level. They do not accept others' opinions and existing doctrines for granted, but would rather test ideas for themselves, trying to discover the truth via relentless questioning and research. Fives are the intense, cerebral type, perceptive, secretive, and isolated. They are alert, insightful and curious, always busy concentrating on developing their complex ideas and skills. They are independent, innovative and inventive and, at their best, become visionaries who are able to see the world in an entirely new way. RM's Enneatype 5 is part of the brain, or thinking triad. The main emotion of all Enneatypes in this triad, 5, 6, and 7, is fear. Fives fear the outer world and their ability to cope with it. They react by withdrawing, becoming secretive, isolated loners. They trust their own mind as a safe place to be and use it to seek the meaning of the outer world in hopes that, eventually, they will be able to rejoin it. However, they never feel like they know enough about the world to participate in it with total confidence. Instead, they create increasingly complex inner worlds for themselves and fully dive in. The two wings of a 5 are Enneatypes 6 and 4. Independent, individualistic 5s with a strong 6 wing take on the team spirit attitude from 6s and become problem solvers. They feel more comfortable identifying with a group, to which they contribute their skills and knowledge from a desire to belong. They are cool, calm and collected, and often eagerly bring different views to any issues at the table, which allows them to identify innovative and creative solutions that most others would not think of. Cerebral 5s with a strong 4 wing are more in touch with their emotions and are called the iconoclasts. They allow their imagination to thrive and take on artistic interests, creating pieces that are both innovative and emotional. When going in their direction of growth, or integration, 5s move into Enneatype 8, which is also known as the challenger, or the boss. Detached 5s become more self-confident and decisive, like healthy 8s. When going in their direction of stress, or disintegration, 5s move into Enneatype 7, which is also known as the enthusiast, or the epicure. Detached 5s suddenly become hyperactive and scattered, just like 7s. Looking at RM's MBTI type, he has tested as an ENFP most recently, and also as an INFP in the past. Connecting that with the Enneagram, extroverted 5s are outspoken, sociable and intellectually assertive, while introverted 5s are more detached, reserved and quiet. Intuitive 5s are innovative, insightful, theoretical and scholarly. Feeling 5s are sensitive and tuned into people. Perceiving 5s are less focused on completion and can get sidetracked by other possibilities. Looking at RM's complete Enneagram profile, we can see how he pulls simply the best qualities from all the Enneatypes he is associated with, into a truly remarkable leadership style. RM is a visionary, not only in his musical composition style, but also in how he leads his team to coherence and success. His love for his members has helped him get out of his shell and join this team which he now considers family. He is a curious, insightful perceiver, who uses his emotional intelligence to connect one-on-one with each of the other members, while also pulling the team together to collaborate on communal goals. He draws up the bigger picture for BTS, then allows the members to each contribute their best attributes towards achieving those goals. This has built up the level of accountability and respect each member has for each other. He makes a point to celebrate their successes, no matter how big or small, as a team. And that always includes ARMY. His humble drive, intelligence and care is greatly appreciated by all the other BTS members, who, in turn, admire and love him deeply. It is fair to say that RM is the driving force behind BTS's continued success.
Next, it's BTS' oldest member, Jin.
Jin has a Type 9 personality on the Enneagram, the peacemaker or the mediator. Nines are devoted to finding internal and external peace, both for themselves and everyone else. They want to create harmony in their environment, avoid conflicts and tension, preserve things as they are, and resist whatever would upset or disturb them. Nines are grounded in the physical world and in their own bodies and have tremendous personal magnetism. They tend to have problems with inertia and stubbornness. Nines are the easygoing, self-effacing type, receptive, reassuring, resigned, agreeable, and complacent. They are accepting, trusting, stable, creative, optimistic, and supportive. At their best, nines are able to bring people together and heal conflicts. Jin's Enneatype is at the center of the gut, or instinct triad. The main emotion of all Enneatypes in this triad, 8, 9, and 1, is anger. Nines deal with their anger by denying it. You will often hear them say something like, "What anger? I don't get angry." This is because nines are the Enneatype most out of touch with their instinctual energies such as anger, and feel threatened by them. So, they try to avoid their darker side by idealizing their relationships and the world they've created for themselves. They retreat into their minds and their emotional fantasies. The two wings of a nine are Enneatypes 8 and 1. Nines with a strong 8 wing take some of the leadership characteristics of an 8 and are called the referees. They are more outgoing than regular nines, but could also be impatient and potentially confrontational. Still yearning for peace at their core, this 8 influence can be very contradictory for nines. On the other hand, nines with a strong 1 wing are called the dreamers. They are more serious and idealistic and get involved in ethical situations, even if it means getting more confrontational than regular nines. They stand up for what is right and get more involved in social endeavors, just like ones do. When going in their direction of growth, or integration, nines move into Enneatype 3, which is also known as the achiever, or the performer. Usually slothful and self-neglecting, nines become more energetic and self-developing, like healthy threes. When going in their direction of stress, or disintegration, nines move into Enneatype 6, which is also known as the loyalist or the devil's advocate. Complacent nines suddenly become anxious and worried, just like sixes. Looking at Jin's MBTI type, he has consistently tested as an INTP in the past. Connecting that with the Enneagram, introverted nines are quiet, reserved, modest and friendly. Intuitive nines are idealistic, individualistic and interested in ideas and possibilities. Thinking nines are analytical, critical and objective. Perceiving nines keep their options open, but may have difficulty completing tasks. As we can see, both the Enneagram and the MBTI complement each other quite well in describing Jin's personality. Jin's Enneatype is the crown of the Enneagram, not just because number 9 is located at the top, but also because it encompasses all of its qualities. Nines can have the strength of 8s, the sense of fun and adventure of 7s, the dutifulness of 6s, the intellectualism of 5s, the idealism of 1s, the generosity of 2s, the attractiveness of 3s, and the creativity of 4s. That might leave them with a weak sense of their own identity, as a separate self from the others who make up their universe. But Jin has somehow managed to turn this potential weakness of his Enneatype into his superpower. He is very much tuned into his own identity and life goals. He knows who he is, he knows what he wants, and that is to be happy. He has managed to figure out how to do it and also how to spread the love to the people encompassed in his universe in that process. The other BTS members took a while to adjust to his personality, probably because his demeanor is so unexpectedly different from someone who can easily use his age-based privileges as a weapon to get established within the team. Instead, Jin is caring, loving, easygoing, goofy and supportive, and creates a lighthearted environment where every member can feel safe to be themselves. For that, he is sometimes affectionately called the mom of BTS. Jin is truly the epitome of Enneatype 9's ability to bring people together. He chose to melt into this brotherhood and is informally leading it towards long-lasting success. In return, he is fiercely loved back by his members and army alike.
Next, it's BTS member, Suga.
Suga has a Type 6 personality on the Enneagram, the loyalist or the devil's advocate. As the name suggests, sixes are extremely loyal to their friends and belief systems, which can be unconventional, even rebellious or anti-authoritarian. They tend to put their friendships and beliefs above their own needs and will fiercely fight to defend them if needed. Since they are mostly outward-oriented, they tend to have issues with self-doubt. Sixes are really good at foreseeing problems and troubleshooting them, mainly by fostering cooperation, which is ideal in a group setting. They are the epitome of opposite qualities, both strong and weak, defenders and provokers, sweet and sour, group people and soloists, etc. Sixes are the committed, security-oriented type, engaging, responsible, reliable, hardworking and trustworthy. They can also become anxious, suspicious, defensive and evasive, running on stress while complaining about it. At their best, sixes are internally stable and self-reliant, courageously championing themselves and others alike. Suga's Enneatype 6 is at the center of the brain, or thinking triad, which he shares with team leader RM. The main emotion of all Enneatypes in this triad, 5, 6, and 7, is fear. Sixes experience the most fear out of all the Enneatypes, mainly in the form of anxiety. They are out of touch with their inner sense of confidence and have a hard time trusting their own minds. They are constantly looking outside themselves for structures that make them feel secure, such as beliefs, relationships, or work. Sixes may also respond to their fear and anxiety by impulsively confronting and defying it, while attempting to free themselves from it. The two wings of a six are Enneatypes 7 and 5. Sixes with a strong 7 wing take some of the positive attitude of a 7 and are called the buddy. They are more personable and engaged than regular sixes and believe that friendships should last forever. This allows them to connect with others easier and to be more comfortable in maintaining those relationships. On the other hand, sixes with a strong 5 wing are called the defenders. They seek rational explanations for the problems at the root of their fears and anxiety, as a self-defense mechanism. They also identify with and champion underdog causes, looking out for those who need protection from figures of authority. When going in their direction of growth, or integration, sixes move into Enneatype 9, which is also known as the peacemaker, or the mediator. Usually more fearful and pessimistic, sixes become more relaxed and optimistic, like healthy nines. When going in their direction of stress, or disintegration, sixes move into Enneatype 3, which is also known as the achiever or the performer. Dutiful sixes suddenly become competitive and arrogant, just like threes. Looking at Suga's MBTI type, he has tested as an ISTP most recently. However, he's been fluctuating between intuition and sensing and feeling and thinking in past MBTI tests. Introverted sixes are reserved and private, while perceiving sixes are adaptable and spontaneous. Sensing sixes are practical, dependable and traditional, while intuitive sixes are more innovative, individualistic and future-oriented. Thinking sixes are critical, objective, logical and counterphobic, while feeling sixes are more caring, loyal, dependent and phobic. As we can see, both the Enneagram and the MBTI are doing a good job at capturing the duality of Suga's personality. Speaking of duality, Suga's opposite qualities are evident in how he treats his BTS members versus how he reacts to outside threats to his team. His Enneatype's security structure is BTS, so he would do anything to protect it, even to the point of being called savage. But make no mistake, his calm demeanor during a crisis situation will be followed by a creative rebuttal outburst where he will speak his mind loud and clear. As one of BTS's main composers and producers, Suga knows his team's potential really well. Because of this, he has been able to accurately foresee many of the accomplishments they've achieved during their lustrous career, which garnered him the nickname of Minstradamus. He also has the habit of looking away during team chants, to symbolize that a specific event was not their last performance together. Suga is the second oldest member of BTS, but, just like Jin, he rarely uses the age card on his team members. He is very loving and caring, although he has a quiet way of showing it. His calming presence never falters and is equaled only by his immense patience. He never reacts negatively to his members, no matter what shenanigans are happening around him. He consistently puts his loyalty towards BTS above his own needs. For all that he brings to the team, he is immensely appreciated and loved by his BTS brothers.
Next, it's BTS member, J-Hope.
J-Hope has a Type 3 personality on the Enneagram, the achiever or the performer. Threes are the stars of human nature and are often being looked up at due to their grace and numerous accomplishments. They are self-assured, attractive and charming. Ambitious, competent and energetic, they are status-conscious and strive for advancement. Threes are the success-oriented, pragmatic type, adaptive, excelling, driven and image-conscious. They are concerned with what others may think of them, which may turn them into competitive workaholics. At their best, threes are authentic, self-accepting, and role models who inspire others to be at their best. J-Hope's Enneatype 3 is at the center of the heart, or feeling triad. The main emotion of all Enneatypes in this triad, 2, 3, and 4, is shame. Threes are often out of touch with their underlying feelings of inadequacy and, thus, tend to deny their shame. They cope by chasing success and trying to become what they believe a valuable person is like. Threes learn to perform well, to be acceptable, even outstanding. They are often relentless in their pursuit of success as a way of keeping feelings of shame and fears of failure at bay. The two wings of a three are Enneatypes 4 and 2. Threes with a strong 4 wing take on some of the individualistic characteristics of a 4 and are called the professional. They are more self-focused in achieving their goals, while also expressing themselves in the process. This openness might make them feel more vulnerable and shy in front of a crowd, so they tend to become more introverted than regular threes. On the other hand, threes with a strong 2 wing are called the charmer. Their creative energy is focused towards gaining the acceptance of others and are energized when their accomplishments are recognized and appreciated. Their greatest desire is to be worthy to be loved. When going in their direction of growth or integration, threes move into Enneatype 6, which is also known as the loyalist, or the devil's advocate. Usually more vain and deceitful, threes become more cooperative and committed to others, like healthy sixes. When going in their direction of stress or disintegration, threes move into Enneatype 9, which is also known as the peacemaker or the mediator. Driven threes suddenly become disengaged and apathetic, just like nines. Looking at J-Hope's MBTI type, he has tested as an INFJ most recently. However, he's been fluctuating between introversion and extroversion and intuition and sensing in past MBTI tests. Introverted threes are reserved, quiet and inner-focused, while extroverted threes are action-oriented, fast-paced, good communicators and like to be in the spotlight. Intuitive threes are innovative, visionary and future-oriented, while sensing threes are realistic, traditional, detail-oriented problem solvers. Feeling threes are people-oriented and like harmony. Judging 3s are structured, efficient and organized. J-Hope contributes the best attributes of his Enneatype to BTS. Among his many talents and roles within the team, the most critical one by far is that of dance leader. An expert in many forms of dance, J-Hope uses his excelling, driven, competitive nature to guide his team to outstanding performances. If music is the yin of BTS's art, then dance is its yang. The two go together in an inseparable form to create the BTS magic shop. J-Hope's energetic dedication to his craft has turned him into a role model for his team. He is known to be strict with his high expectations for near perfectionism from his members, but that is a trait that is actually celebrated and respected within this team that is known worldwide for its first-class performances. The BTS members have mentioned many times that J-Hope functions like a tacit secondary leader of the team. Outside of the dance practice studio, J-Hope has a really caring attitude towards his members. He is often the first one to show support with his upbeat, energetic persona. He loves to pamper his brothers, while also being shy about receiving compliments for himself. He is also known as the sunshine and hope of BTS.
Next, it's BTS member, Jimin.
Jimin has a Type 1 personality on the Enneagram, the reformer or the perfectionist. Ones are led in life by a strong sense of mission to improve the world. They are very ethical and have a strong sense of right and wrong. Ones are practical and use their influence to reduce the degree of disorder they see around them. Guided by their higher moral values, they sometimes make great personal sacrifices to overcome adversity and strive to reach a level that is above criticism. Ones are well organized and pay great attention to details. However, they can become critical and impatient due to their high standards. Ones are the rational, idealistic type, principled, purposeful, self-controlled, and perfectionistic. In their pursuit of perfection, they are very strict with themselves, not allowing for any mistakes, sometimes turning their own lives into a living hell. At their best, ones are wise, discerning, realistic, noble, and morally heroic. Jimin's Enneatype is part of the gut, or instinct triad, which he shares with band member Jin. The main emotion of all Enneatypes in this triad, 8, 9, and 1, is anger. Ones attempt to control or repress their instinctual anger by being very strict on themselves and others. They admit to having angry feelings and want to be in control of them at all times. They are usually seen by others as highly self-controlled, even rigid, although this is not how ones experience themselves. They use their highly developed inner critic, or superego, to guide the redirection of their anger into, ideally, more positive instinctual energies and activities. The two wings of a 1 are Enneatypes 9 and 2. Ones with a strong 9 wing take some of the desire for harmony and conflict resolution of a 9 and are called the idealist. They are calmer and more balanced in their desire to bring about social change. They are well-mannered and less confrontational than regular ones, but they may be having a hard time dealing with the surrounding negativity that separates them from their ideal world. On the other hand, ones with a strong 2 wing are called the advocate. They are characterized by a desire to help others and be more empathetic than regular ones. They rely more on interpersonal sympathy in their actions to bring about social change. However, they may find themselves in a moral dilemma when their personal principles are mismatched with their sense of empathy for another person or cause. They are, thus, a bit softer in their approach as compared to regular ones. When going in their direction of growth or integration, ones move into Enneatype 7, which is also known as the enthusiast, or the epicure. Usually more angry and critical, ones become more spontaneous and joyful, like healthy 7s. When going in their direction of stress or disintegration, ones move into Enneatype 4, which is also known as the individualist or the romantic. Methodical ones suddenly become moody and irrational, just like 4s. Looking at Jimin's MBTI type, he has tested as an ESTP most recently. However, he's been fluctuating between intuition and sensing, feeling and thinking, and perceiving and judging in past MBTI tests. Extroverted ones have a pronounced leadership side and tend to impose their standards of perfection onto others. Sensing ones are practical, detail-oriented and value rules and tradition, while intuitive ones are more innovative, idealistic, individualistic and non-traditional. Thinking ones are critical, logical, analytical, more into data and things, while feeling ones value harmony and helping people, fear criticism, and have inward anger. Perceiving ones are flexible, adaptable and spontaneous, while judging ones are dependable, organized and structured. As we can see, Jimin is constantly changing and evolving, probably in a never-ending effort to achieve what he perceives to be control over his instinctual energies. Jimin is one of the 3 youngest members of the group. Despite his young age and also not having any official leadership capacity in BTS, his wise and noble character has helped him get established as a trusted and supportive member of the group. Team leader RM is enthralled with Jimin's empathetic and sympathetic side and feels comfortable opening up to him. The two often carry deep conversations together. Jimin has also been helping J-Hope with leading the team to exquisite dance performances. He does that in a respectful way, without undermining J-Hope's leadership, by providing valuable practical feedback that the members can apply to improve their techniques. Trained in contemporary dance, he is an amazing performer who brings in unexpected modern elements to the BTS choreography. His perfectionistic tendencies shine through and characterize every stage performance he delivers. For this, he shares the position of BTS's main dancer with J-Hope. Jimin's artistry as a performer has some very unique quirks and flavors that oftentimes deliver killing parts in BTS music videos and performances. He has gone viral numerous times and was known worldwide as 333 Jimin, Orange Hair Guy, 424 Jimin, or 111 Jimin. He is absolutely mesmerizing to watch and listen to. Off stage, Jimin often shows his caring, loving side to the members. His sensitivity and emotional intelligence are off the charts. He knows exactly how to connect with each member and show support in their times of need. He is gentle but real at the same time, and the members often seek his support and approval. His perfectionistic, competitive tendencies melt away when he is with his brothers, and all that's left is an effortlessly funny guy who lights up the mood and delivers numerous giggles in the room. There is even a saying inside the BTS fandom that goes, "Once you Jimin, you can't Jim out."
Next, are BTS members V and JK.
V and JK both have a Type 4 personality on the Enneagram, the individualist or the romantic. We will first discuss this Enneatype which they share, then describe each of their charms individually. 4's self-identity is rooted in the idea of being fundamentally different from everybody else and having unique talents. That might get them to feel socially awkward sometimes. They are very honest with themselves and don't sugarcoat any flaws they may perceive to have, although they cannot quite identify what it is that's missing. They do tend to think that no one can truly understand and love them for who they really are. So, they spend a lot of time cultivating an outside persona for the world to see, although they really long to connect with someone who can see their true selves. They are the sensitive, withdrawn and introspective type, expressive, dramatic, self-absorbed, and temperamental. Their goal is to express their individuality and surround themselves with beauty. At their best, they are inspired, highly creative, able to renew themselves and transform their experiences. V and JK's Enneatype is part of the heart, or feeling triad, which they share with band member J-Hope. The main emotion of all Enneatypes in this triad, 2, 3, and 4, is shame. 4s feel inadequate and try to control their shame by focusing on how unique and special their talents, feelings, and personal characteristics are. They highlight their individuality and creativity as a way of dealing with their shameful feelings. 4s also manage their shame by cultivating a rich, romantic fantasy life, devoid of things that are dull or uninteresting to them. The two wings of a 4 are Enneatypes 5 and 3. 4s with a strong 5 wing take some of the characteristics of a 5 and are called the bohemian. They are still inward-oriented but replace looking for ideals with emotionally detached inner dialogues. They are not so dependent on outside validation like regular 4s and appear to others as eccentric or aloof. On the other hand, 4s with a strong 3 wing are called the aristocrat. They are more socially conscious, task-focused and productive than regular 4s, in an effort to prove how special they are through achievements. When going in their direction of growth or integration, 4s move into Enneatype 1, which is also known as the reformer or the perfectionist. Usually more envious and emotionally turbulent, 4s become more objective and principled, like healthy ones. When going in their direction of stress or disintegration, 4s move into Enneatype 2, which is also known as the helper or the giver. Aloof 4s suddenly become over-involved and clingy, just like 2s. Looking at their most current MBTI type, V has tested as an INFP, while JK has tested as an INTP. One of the prominent features of Enneatype 4 is introversion, which both V and JK have tested for. Introverted 4s are serious, reserved and withdrawn. V has broken this mold in the past by also testing as an extrovert. Extroverted 4s are sociable, expressive and sometimes flamboyant. Intuitive 4s are insightful, idealistic and more interested in imagination over the real world. JK has also tested as a sensor in past MBTI tests. Sensing 4s live in the present and like to express themselves through action. The other prominent feature of Enneatype 4 is feeling, which both V and JK have tested for. Feeling 4s are emotionally sensitive, warm and empathetic. JK has broken this mold by also testing as a thinker. This is a rare trait for Enneatype 4, as it makes them more analytical and objective. Perceiving 4s are impulsive, indecisive and adaptable. As we have seen so far, although V and JK share the same basic Enneatype, there is enough variability between their topologies to create two distinctive, unique and recognizable personalities. Let's explore them. V is the second youngest member of the group and, thus, has 5 older brothers to look out for him. His unique, one-of-a-kind, larger-than-life personality has gifted him with a distinctive, even eccentric, perspective on life and out-of-the-box thinking skills. Sometimes unpredictable in his actions, he is always genuine and pure-hearted in his intentions. The members have made it clear that although V may come across as strange, his personality is actually his unique charm that he is skillfully using to conquer life's challenges. V has a unique flavor sonically and visually, which make him stand out not only in his team, but also within the K-pop industry overall and have garnered him the title of Idol of Idols. His visuals are out of this world and often enhanced by his flawless acting skills. V is the biggest BTS fanboy. He has mentioned numerous times that the other members inspire him to become better, so he makes it a point in reminding ARMY to always love all of them equally. To showcase his own love for his brothers in ARMY, he came up with the term, I purple you, which means, we will trust and love each other for a long time. Contrary to his typical Enneatype, he is a confident, social butterfly who makes friends easily. He is known for conducting random hug skits for his members and their staff, lighting up the mood during shoots. BTS have fully embraced the quirkiness that V brings to the team and love him dearly. JK is the youngest member of BTS. The other 6 members have done a fantastic job raising him as a brother from the very young age of 15. He is known as the golden youngest for the many talents he possesses in singing, dancing, rapping, and music creation. Flawless in his skills and extremely dedicated to perfecting his craft, he has been the center of BTS's formations from the very beginning. He is an introverted sponge who quietly observes and absorbs everything he sees from his teammates, transforming everything into an unmatched, unique style of his own. Never satisfied with his performances, he is determined to constantly better himself and develop new skills. He is an inspiration for his bandmates. Sonically, he contributes a distinctive vocal tone to BTS's music. He sings complex melodies with ease and fully immerses himself in his craft. His performances are really powerful and he often leaves his all on stage. His voice is extremely stable when dancing, so he can deliver live performances that sound almost like they are auto-tuned. He is considered a genius performer, the best to come out of his country on the international stage. The same way his brothers adore him, he has consistently showcased his love and admiration for all of them. His solo song, Begin, is an ode to his members who have helped to raise him. He admits to owing who he is today to their constant love and care.
What a beautiful family the BTS members have created for themselves. So, now that we have briefly learned about their individual Enneatypes, how does it all contribute to their immense success and longevity as a team?
One of the first things we notice when we look at the Enneagram is the diversity of their Enneatypes. The best teams are diverse, and BTS certainly fits that bill. Diverse teams are more creative, innovative and adaptable to changing environments, making them more likely to outperform and outlast others. Their diverse Enneatypes also allow them to see, interpret and react to the world in different ways. This has created an environment where everyone's opinion is welcomed and accepted, fostering trust and collaboration between the members. Despite age differences, there doesn't seem to be a vertical hierarchy between the members. Enneatype 8, which is typically regarded as the boss type, is vacant. However, team leader RM takes some of the positive characteristics of this Enneatype in his time of growth. Also, oldest member Jin crosses into Enneatype 8 as a wing, which provides secondary characteristics to his basic 9 typology. It is very interesting to see that both the leader and the oldest member have access to Enneatype 8's leadership characteristics. Coincidence? When we look at the triads, which are the Enneagram's centers of intelligence, we see great balance. Each triad has 2 of its 3 numbers occupied. Jin and Jimin are at 9 and 1 in the gut triad. J-Hope, V and JK are at 3 and 4 in the heart triad, while RM and Suga are at 5 and 6 in the brain triad. More so, each triad is centered by one of the oldest members of BTS. Jin centers the gut triad at 9, Suga centers the brain triad at 6, and J-Hope centers the heart triad at 3. This provides great stability and balance to their centers of intelligence. They each offer complementary characteristics to the team, which can be and often are fused to work together like puzzle pieces that combine with remarkable unity. We need to ask ourselves again, is this by coincidence? When it comes to the creative genius behind BTS's musical masterpieces, we need to focus our attention on the brain triad, where we find both RM and Suga. Branded as genius lyricists, composers and producers, they have participated in the creation of much of BTS's discography. As of November 2023, RM is credited in 218 BTS songs, while Suga is credited for 168. That is a phenomenal amount, considering their young age, both still in their 20s, according to the International Age System. Despite their prolific creativity, both RM and Suga maintain a humble profile and consistently encourage and support the other members to contribute to the BTS creative process as well. There is no envy or competition between each other, only love, respect, and admiration sprinkled with giggles and banter every moment they are together. Creativity, diversity and innovation is celebrated and materialized as group, solo, or unit projects that showcase the team members' talents and interests. This variety of projects have kept the members engaged and always striving for more. As they grew, both as individuals and as artists, Their message has changed from teenage rebellion to deeper topics like self-love and mental health, culminating with their full expression of love for ARMY, their loyal, diverse and ever-growing fanbase, which is also referred to as BTS's eighth member. Along the way, their work ethic and moral principles got imprinted into ARMY culture as well. They too are intelligent, organized, respectful, and follow the same system of values demonstrated by the BTS members. They are fiercely protective of the seven guys which have, unfortunately, been the victims of many baseless accusations, ridicule, threats and misogyny during their meteoric rise to fame. ARMYs have become the most powerful fandom in the world, a fact they don't take lightly but use towards supporting various causes around the world. On the Enneagram, they represent every personality type and, again, their strength is in their diversity. They embrace it and they use it as a tool for global change. They have demonstrated that language is not a barrier as long as the message is received with an open heart and mind. BTS are extremely fond of them, and they never miss the chance to showcase their love and express their gratitude for the wonderful partnership they have created together. This unusual bond between an artist and their fandom showcases how art with a meaningful message can impact the welfare of people all around the world. They are setting up a precedent and wonderful example for others to follow as well. So, to quote one of our favorite BTS masterpieces, we don't really believe all of this is a coincidence. Sure, founder Bang PD could be very good at spotting talent, and that was probably a big part of putting BTS together in this format. However, we think there is a bigger organizational order at work here. It's the actual universe sending the world the answer it needed to promote love, unity and everything that is pure and genuine on this planet. But why, you ask? Well, because pre-genetics teaches us that we are all connected and we can relate at a quantum, subtle level, regardless of our physical location and time on this planet. We all live on borrowed life energy that gets recycled from past, to present, to future generations. Each and every one of us is born from the shared experiences of our ancestors, carrying around the collective memory of our past struggles and successes. This layer overlays the genetic and epigenetic aspects of our physical body and is the main driver of the personality type we express during our lifetime. Our Enneatype determines how we experience and adapt to the world around us. It also prescribes how we react to what life throws at us and what kind of legacy we have the potential to leave behind. These 7 men from Korea that make up BTS have demonstrated to be experts at using the best characteristics of their Enneatypes and have created in the process a movement that has the potential to shake up the world. Let's cheer them on.
And with that, our brief presentation of the BTS case study on how pre-genetics contribute to teamwork has concluded. We do thank you for your patience in viewing this entire video. We hope it has been a pleasant and informative ride. If you would like to know more about pre-genetics, genetics and epigenetics, as well as the subtle body, please check out some of our other videos as well. We have provided some links in the video description. For more integrative health and wellness topics, our website is a wealth of information.